Savage Hawkman number 18, written by Tom DeFalco, art by Joe Bennett and Fabrizio Fiorentino. Last issue, there was some alien tech, and there was a bomb on a boat, and Shadow Thief and Hawkman were maybe both blown up. Of course, they weren't, though. And this issue opens up with Hawkman in a deep, dark place, and he's like, oh god, I can't see or feel anything. Is this death? Am I dead? And then Shadow Thief's like, no, you ain't dead. This is just some weird shadow realm thing that I have to go through in using my suit. So it turns out there are also a bunch of, like, the best way I can describe it is Stranger Things-esque creatures in this world that are trying to kill them constantly. And she can't control them, so they just have to make their way through to find a portal out of here. And we see the previous people that she's brought in here are just dead and completely torn apart. And Shadow Thief's like, whatever, they're casualties of war. And Hawkman's like, I don't know what you're doing, but that's just murder. And she's like, no, we're in a war. Their people die in war. I'm just a soldier in it. So either way, if you want to get out of here, portal's this way. Let's go. So then we got back to the real world, and Emma, I believe her name is. Yes, Emma's calling Hawkman, Carter, because she really needs him to be around while she tries to figure out what to do about her father, who is, he has dementia or Alzheimer's or something like that. And the father realizes that she's upset, and he's like, hey, I may not know everything that's going on, but, I know this is about me and my situation, so I know you'll make the right decision regarding that, honey. And we see that there is a little brochure for a hospice or something like that in her bag. Cut back to the Shadow world. They're basically saying, okay, Shadow Thief, tell me more about you. And she's like, all right, I was a thief. I worked for a small nation that had a bunch of enemies. I went around killing people and stealing stuff. But then eventually I had this one job going on where they wanted me to steal something from a bank, and it just felt weird. And when I opened up the thing, which I have never done before, inside was the shadow skin, and it allows me to fight and do all this shadow stuff powers. And she decided that aliens are a threat, and so she is stopping all alien weaponry and such to be sold and traded, and she's just all up on aliens. And she says, that's why I wage war against alien invaders, their technology, and their dupes. And then Hawkman's like, okay, that's awkward. So then back to the Rest Haven Medical Facility, which is the hospice that she was looking for. There's a guy in there named Mark who's just freaking out, and he's being strapped down by a doctor, and the doctor says, hey, Mark, you got to stop freaking out. Science comes at a cost. And he injects him with some glowing green substance that Mark seems not too happy with. Then we cut back into Shadow World again, and Shadow Thief's like, okay, Hawkman, tell me your story. And he's like, okay, well, I was a minor noble. I got into a gladiator arena because people didn't like me that much. The Emperor himself granted me a pardon, and he brought me into his house, and then I saw how evil the ruling classes were, and therefore I was exiled off Thanagar. Which, can I just say, this is like the third origin we've gotten for Hawkman in this book itself, and I still think they all disagree with each. Like, this one disagrees less, but it's still disagreeing with everything we saw before, and I think it was Liefeld's run, so whatever. Either way, he says the word Thanagar, and Shadow Thief's like, you're an alien! And she straight up tries to kill him, and he's like, no, I'm not, I'm fighting for humanity here. And she's like, well, I don't trust you. I don't trust any sort of alien. So they keep on attacking each other. And Hawkman's using his nth metal as best he can, but it is actually not able to attack a literal shadow. And at that point, the monsters start attacking again, and Hawkman's like, okay, can we call for a truce while we beat the monsters? So then we follow Emma as she's visiting the Rest Haven facility. Mark answers the door, and he seems fine. He's just a little bit, out of it. And the doctor there, named Dr. Fane, he's like, oh, yes, Mark is one of our most successful patients. We do more than just care for dementia. We actually try to treat it here. And how can I help you, Miss Emma? So back in the Shadow World, the monsters are attacking, and Hawkman's trying to convince Shadow Thief, hey, look, we can work together. Only you can get us home. Just let me fight him off. And she's like, I don't need your help. So at that point, one of them goes to spear Shadow Thief, and Hawkman manages to jump in the way, which convinces her, like, no, I will not be shackled by such a sacrifice. And Hawkman's like, hey, I'm actually fine. The nth metal's healing me. No big deal. Also, I'm going to fight back the monsters. And Shadow Thief's like, okay, all right. I guess at the very least you've earned a portal out of here. So they hold hands and go through a portal. And when they get to the other side, it looks like Shadow Thief's ready to fight again. And Hawkman's like, I'm ready for it if you are. Shadow Thief's like, nah, I can kill you whenever I want. Peace. And she leaves. So then Hawkman, he goes back into his apartment, transforms out of his nth metal. There's a knock at the door. It's Emma. And Emma's like, hey, I've been calling you. Where you been? And he's like, I was Hawkman stuff. And she's like, fair enough. Sorry. Didn't mean to jump on you. However, I do need you to be there for me. And if you can't even answer your phone, then it's going to come down to the choice of either me or Hawkmanning. And that's where it leaves off. I understand this is a stressful time for Emma where, you know, she needs Carter by her side. But they wrote her really whiny here. And we're, as the reader, supposed to empathize with Carter, and, like, you know, he's our audience avatar, more or less. So the fact that she comes in, she's like, you have to choose between being a hero and being with me. It's like, okay, but we haven't really seen you guys been in that much of a relationship yet, and you kind of blew him off last issue too. It just kind of felt like this is a non-choice and just designed to make us not like Emma, you know? Either way, the issue itself is okay. It's more so just origin story for Shadow Thief and saying, oh, are they enemies? Are they friends? Are they frenemies? Yes to the last one. And while I enjoy that, it does feel completely disjointed with the issue that happened before, because wasn't there a whole thing of a weapons trade, and Xerxes was there, and there was a bunch of other stuff, and we just completely glossed over that? And then next issue it says, and Blockbuster's showing up, which means, are we just done with Xerxes? I'm not complaining, but that was a very stupid way to go. So overall, I'll give this one a 6. Not great, not standout. It's still at least interesting in what they're doing with Shadow Thief. Not that I think it's actually going to matter for very much longer, but hey, at least they're doing something.